There you go. Nice pork rind. Good morning. Today we're going to make pork rinds with the skin from our pigs last year. This is like a 2-day process and sometimes it doesn't always work. I'll show you the steps that we take to do it and I'll walk you through it. So first thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to boil the pork skin for like a half an hour. So I'm gonna put this water on, go do some chores, and then come in and show that to you. We left these bags of pork skin out overnight to thaw. You want to make sure that you pull all the hair off the skin. We had these pigs done at a processing facility and some of the hair didn't come off, but if we do it ourselves, we're going to make sure that we get all of the hair off the pig's skin. I'll tell you the process real quick and then we'll do it. We're going to boil these for about half an hour and that's going to help to congeal, get the fat off the skin. And then after we boil them for half an hour, we're going to drain the water out and put them in the fridge for 4 to 8 hours, you know, overnight maybe. Actually no, since we're doing it this morning, we'll put them in the fridge for half the day and then I'll take them out of the fridge, cut all the fat off of them, cut them into, you know, bite-sized pieces, small pieces because they get really big when you fry them. And then we're going to put them into the oven overnight at 180 and then that's going to drip away everything else. And then in the morning tomorrow, or sometime tomorrow, we will fry them up, all right? And that's how you make them. And then once you make them, you can store them in the pantry for, I don't know, a week. We store them in there. They don't last too long because they're pretty darn good. So I will turn this on and then go feed the animals. All right, so now it's boiling. Put the skin in there. See how some of that skin has the hair on it? Probably gonna end up cutting that piece off. And then of course, we get to thank the USDA for stamping our pigs because, you know, if we didn't have ink on our pigs, we wouldn't know what to do with them. As you can imagine, I'm no fan of the USDA, but that's a topic for another video. So, set you a half-hour timer and don't overdo this step because what's gonna happen now is the skin is gonna, I don't know what actually happens, honestly, but something happens to the skin and the fat that's on it and it becomes more workable and you'll be able to get the fat off a lot easier. Last time I did this, or 2 times ago I did this, I think I did this step a little too long and the skin and the fat, everything just kind of fell apart. So don't do that. Boil it for half an hour and then put it in the fridge. All right, so it's been on here for half an hour. I'll dump this water out. Let it cool off a little bit first. Then it goes in the fridge for 4 to 8 hours or overnight. Yeah, that's what I remember from the video that I saw. Had this in it. Yeah, so it is 8 o'clock in the morning now. Sometime tonight, this evening, I will go through and cut off all this fat. And I'll show you that later. Then we'll get it into the oven overnight.
So beautiful.
Hey, so it's been in the fridge for most of the day. Comes up and goes right back downstairs.
It's like a pet. It's like some dental pets.
Oh look, it's the nipples. It's the nipples, isn't that interesting? Okay, maybe I won't eat the nipples, that's kind of odd. So I got it out of the fridge, it's been in there all day, and I've got a tray here with a rack. Gotta put the rack on the tray, because this is where the skin's gonna go after we get all the fat off of it. So you see it's got a bunch of fat on it. You see the fat? So we're gonna get rid of all that. I like to use this little cheese knife. It's like sturdy and stubby because I'm gonna be scraping the fat off. So there's some meat here. Get rid of the meat because that's not gonna do anything. But the fat that comes off of these pieces of skin, so I'm gonna get rid of the meat here. Now there's nothing but fat on here. Now, as you pull this fat off, we're gonna save that because we're gonna use that fat to cook the pig skins in. Here we have a piece of skin with most of the fat taken off of it. You see most of the fat on there? And then you scrape it and you'll see the fat comes off. And then, it is a lot of work. This is time consuming. Might be a better way to do it, but I haven't found one. So now that all the fat is off that piece of skin, take that skin and you can put it, I like to put the fat side down onto the rack.
What happens if you don't get all the fat?
If you don't get all the fat off, then it won't puff up when you fry it.
How do you know that?
We did all this work one time and it didn't puff up when I fried it. But this good fat, we just put that into the pan and we'll use that to fry this, make these pork rinds with. This piece is a big enough piece for one pork rind because it's going to turn into like 5 times this big, maybe 6 times as big. So, you know, this is a serving. One person will eat like maybe 3 or 4 of these. Here, you see that? This is like the hair. So if they didn't get all the hair off of it, then I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want to eat pig hair.
You can scrape it off, but
you can scrape it off, but
it takes a lot of time.
I've not tried to do that. And we have pigs that will eat this happily, so. Yeah guys, you don't really need to cut these things into large pieces at all. Just a 1-inch square is gonna puff up to something pretty big. These take some time to do. This is a task that takes a little bit of effort and energy. If anybody else has figured out a faster way to do this, please let me know. Sometimes these things are like super clean and easy to get the skin off of them, and that's when it's awesome. So we got them on a layer here in a tray. I'm gonna put them into the oven at 180. All right, they go in there at the lowest setting. What is that? 170? 170. So we'll leave them in there at 170 overnight. Get it? Die. And here is all of the fat that came off of the skins. That's going to render down. We'll do it tomorrow. Actually, yeah, I can't do it tonight because I'm not going to be up. We'll either render this down or we'll take some lard out of our fridge and use that to fry up the skins. That'll be nice and crispy and fat-free, hopefully, tomorrow morning. And here are all the pieces of pork skin that we didn't use. And again, we had these pigs processed last year. This year, we're gonna try to do it ourselves. And I don't think there's gonna be any hair left when we do it ourselves. This is what they're doing. This is garbage to them. They just throw it away and we asked for it. So they really didn't prepare it like it would be served to somebody or ready for sale. So it also won't have the USDA stamps on them either. So we'll fry them up tomorrow. Good morning. Let's take a look at the oven and see what happened last night. Oven mitt. Trivet. I call these hot plates. What do y'all call these? I call these hot pans, hot plates, and my wife calls them trivets. She's probably right, but what do you think it is? All right, these guys should be a little hard. And they should be relatively fat-free now. So let's see here. Yeah, they're crispy. I don't see too much fat on them. I think these are gonna puff up nice. We'll have to just see. One way to find out. So what I could also do is I could have taken the lard from the skin and rendered it down and fried the pig skins in that, but that was overnight. I didn't want to do it overnight. So I turned this on. We'll render this down for use later. In order to do that, you just take your fat, put it in a pan, put a little bit of water in there. See, I got some water in there. Not too much water. Put some water in there. And let it cook down. Mix it up throughout the day. Put it on low heat, medium to low heat. Get the right burner. And then that'll sit there all day, and by tonight it'll be mostly rendered out, and then we'll just strain it out. I strain it out through like a coffee filter, and then put it in the fridge, and it'll be all nice and white and lard. But what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna get some lard we've already rendered. Lard. This is from our pigs. I'll take this, I'll put it into a pot. Good morning. You gonna say hi or you're just gonna yell at me for not letting you out? So you want to have enough lard in here that the skin can, well, I guess it'll sink when you first put it in there, then it'll float to the top, but it doesn't need to be a whole lot. I mean, I think I cook mine in like 1/2 inch of lard. It's not too much. So we'll go with this for now, and I'll just add more in if I need to. So we'll put this lard on the burner, and then I'm gonna go out and do the chores. I'm gonna put this on real low just to start melting it. You wanna get this to about 350, 375 degrees. So I'm gonna put it on the low heat just to get the melting going, and then I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. All right, so it's coming to temperature now. Got our, this one looks like it might have a couple hairs on it, so might not eat that one. We got our pork skins here. dried out, ready to get fried up. Paper towel on a plate here, and I'm using this powdered salt. So, you know, salt comes in different size granules, but if you want to like flavor something like popcorn or these, you want to use powdered salt, because the smaller the salt crystal, the less of it you need to taste it, if that kind of makes sense. So this would be good on an ear of corn as well. But if you wanted to like crunch on a solid chunk of salt, like in a brownie, on top of a brownie, you'd get a nice big fat coarse piece of salt and sprinkle that on there. So let's see what we're at here. We're looking for 350 to 375, and we're coming up on 200. I've only got about half an inch of fat in there. I'm gonna put a little bit more. So this is enough fat, it's just not the right temperature yet. All right, I have to go reset a breaker real quick. I think we're about there. Looking for 350, 375. You can see like legs growing into the oil. I'll show it to you in a second here. That's kind of how I can tell. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? You can't see. I can see it, but you can't see it. If it gets up to about 350, you'll start to see what looks like legs crawling into the oil. All right, so we are there now. I've got my thing sitting there. I'm gonna use this slotted spoon to scoop it up, and I will take 2 pieces and toss them in here. And then you wait. Doesn't do anything for like 10, 15 seconds, and then they'll start to sizzle and hopefully expand. I'll do one and show it to you in a minute if it works. Fingers crossed. All right, something's happening. Yeah, it's working. Cool. And then if it works right, we'll pull this out. Pretty cool, huh? Set that here. Set that here. Drop 2 more in, and then I'll take our salt. And that's it. Alright, so let's show these to you. I dropped them in there about 10 seconds ago, maybe. Nothing's really happening yet. Now it's starting to bubble up. See it? Alright. Move them around, try to keep them in there. There you go. Nice pork rind. I like to try to pick them up. The opening is down, so I'm not carrying a bunch of hot lard across the counter. And then you just repeat that process until they're all done. Let's see here. 2 more in there. So here they are. Maybe a third of all the skin that I pulled out of those frozen bags actually made it to this point. You know, again, the skin from the butchers are typically just garbage thrown out, but we asked for it, so they gave it to us, and so, you know, it had hair on it and lots of fat on it, so we had to work it a little bit. But you could go to the butcher and ask for skin that's ready to go to make these, and they might have it all prepped and ready for you with the skin removed, which would be really sweet. Then you might just need to put it in the oven to make sure all the fat's off of it, and then just fry them up. But that might cost a little bit of money. But go for it. If you don't have a pig, if you do have a pig, keep the skin. Keep the skin yourself, make sure you get all the hair off it, and crunch them up into nice, delicious pork rinds. It's a labor of love, but they are pretty good. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll send out more videos about every week, all right? About lifestyle issues with the farm, healthy living, good food to eat. All right, so take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. So here are, hey, look at the dang thing. Here are the pork skins. All right, good morning.